What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Trey Will, man. How y'all doing, bro? How y'all feeling, man? Hope y'all day been going good. If not, I hope this reaction make you feel better, though. Anyway, man, we got NBA legends explain how crazy good Larry Bird was. We finna see probably your favorite NBA players talk about how good Larry Bird was. He was probably your favorite player's favorite player. Might have been, I don't know, but hope y'all like, comment, subscribe. I watched the video already on Larry Bird about how good he was. Might as well hear everybody else talk about how good he was, you know. But I'm gonna leave the original video in the comments and let's get into it.
Indiana, who gave us an 80s to remember by lighting up a battle between the Celtics and the Lakers, will forever be heralded as one of the players who saved basketball. Bird and Magic's coast-to-coast war and jaw-dropping styles gave the NBA the boost it needed before the emergence of Michael Jordan. But for Bird, with 3 titles, 2 Finals MVPs, and 3 consecutive MVP seasons, some forget just how good he
3 consecutive MVP seasons. So he won MVP back-to-back 3 times, and he got 2 Finals MVP. That's crazy.
really was. Today we look at NBA players explaining how crazy good Larry Bird was in his prime. Before we get into all that, if you want to win a PS5 with NBA 2K22 and Madden NFL,
if y'all want to win that, y'all go check out his video.
Hit the list. Each carries a different generation. From 50s Bill Russell to 60s Wilt Chamberlain or 70s Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 80s Magic Johnson, 90s Michael Jordan, 2000s Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, to today's LeBron James. Some get overlooked when they shouldn't. For example, Tim Duncan. And others get left behind because of the lack of titles, like Charles Barkley. What happens when all these players talk of another great as if he was like no?
And like they said, LeBron, Carmelo Anthony, he ain't got no ring. Carmelo Anthony probably gonna get washed up and get straight sadly. He's on the scoring list. He ain't got nothing to really to his name. But
no other. Larry Bird was lauded
unless you want to count college
by most of these legends because he was one of them too.
But don't get it wrong, Melo's still a legend. A legend. Don't get it fucked up.
He was consistent, tough, offensively masterful, and one of the first big guys to shoot many three-point shots. LeBron James spoke candidly in an interview about how he was one of the few guys ever to win a three-point contest with a warm-up shirt on. LeBron referring to the time Larry won his 3rd consecutive three-point contest. James continued,
for young guys that don't know him, you know, they think of Larry Bird as a jump shooter, but he was so much more than that. He was a passer. He averaged double-digit rebounds. He defended, he took charges. And, you know, he's a straight-up complete basketball player, and me as a small forward.
Later in his career, LeBron adapted his game to the new way of basketball, which was a charge led by the Golden State.
Good idea, LeBron. Model your shit after Larry.
Warriors and shooting more from behind the arc. LeBron was considered a big guy, but began shooting more threes, and no doubt was heavily influenced by the fact that Larry Legend had already achieved this feat in the 80s. In another interview, when asked about his top 3 of all time, LeBron put Larry Bird firmly in there with MJ and Dr. J.
Hey.
3, Larry Bird, Dr. J. Michael Jordan.
Shaq had a very different opinion on Larry initially. He said he disliked Bird because he was jealous. He thought, how could this regular-looking guy do everything?
Never really had a chance to play against Larry Bird, but I actually used to hate Larry Bird. I hated him.
I think
Shaq
he just
soon realized as he grew older and wiser that despite getting the luck of the
I'm
Irish with the Celtics, Larry made his own luck when it came to shooting the ball.
Oh, who would y'all rather start a team with? Would you rather start a team with Shaq or I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting a team with Larry. I'm sorry. That's not even the question.
Shaq at 7.
But no, you might want that bit man though. You might want that solid bit man, depending on when you playing. But Larry Bird is literally like, I ain't gonna lie, Larry Bird was so complete that he probably, I'm Larry easily,
of course,
bro.
had a completely different style of game at the time. He was built to the max and used brute force to impose his will on the defense and rack up the points, blocks, and rebounds. Shaq was also faster than most give him credit for, particularly in the early part of his career.
O'Neal the rebound. Now the Magic with a final shot chance.
Oh, get out of there. Oh, get out of
there. The floor. Takes it all the way.
Bird was notoriously slow, which was all the more testament to his skill set, but his basketball IQ was just on a different planet. He once sank a shot from behind the backboard, which O'Neal chalked down to a fluke following a bet with his friend.
Sam Vincent to Bird.
And I remember in a clip I shot, he shot this, I said he was doing witchcraft because he made that shot.
And it goes.
Like, that's a crazy shot. Larry Bird, that's a crazy shot.
I've seen everything.
Shaq never really got the chance to play against Larry Bird, which is unfortunate, because I don't think it would have taken him so long to recognize greatness.
Yeah.
On the other hand, 6-time NBA champion Kareem Abdul-Jabbar battled Bird on numerous occasions while playing with the Showtime Lakers. Bird got the better of him in the 1984 finals, and took another two in a decade that was largely dominated by the purple and gold. Kareem spoke about how Larry might have been the best he had played against and said,
how good was Bird? I don't think people look at him and think, oh, he's a white guy, slow guy.
The chubby white guy, he wore us out.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, because he just, this muscle here, the one between his ears, that was his best, you know, because he made the
shit, Larry.
And he had assists and rebounded, steals. He was always at the right place at the right time on the court. You know, one of the great players, you know, I had the opportunity to play.
He was always on the right spot at the
11-time
right
All-Star
time.
Charles Barkley, a regular season MVP during a star-filled 90s, was once asked, "Are you better than Bird?" And he took a long pause before answering, which is very telling.
Am I better than Bird? Oh man, that's a great question.
Let's see what he said.
Most great players respond immediately with how they think they're the best, because you have to have that kind of mentality.
Yeah, you got
to get to the top.
You for surely
Instead,
got
Barkley
to.
answered,
But
I'm a better rebounder. I'm probably a better defender. He's a better shooter, obviously. You know, a lot of people talk about who's better.
But you have to think, you have to have that mentality.
No, you know. I think, you know, it's a team game.
I think deep down he knew that Bird was a better player.
Yes,
for
he
someone as
knows.
good as Chuck to be stumped like that in an interview shows you how heavy the weight of Larry Bird's legacy was. Former teammate Kevin McHale also references how unreal Bird was to play with. McHale was Bird's right-hand man while playing with Boston, claiming the Sixth Man of the Year award twice, along with 7 All-Star appearances. His story of a specific Detroit game is fascinating. There was a bit of time left on the clock, and we had beaten Detroit, and I just scored 56, and I'm walking off the court, and Larry said,
56.
"Where are you going?" I said, "I'm done." I said, "I'm exhausted. I'm tired." Larry goes, "Don't do it, man, because when I get that hot, I'm not coming out of the game." A week later, he got that hot. He looked at me at about 50 points, and he looked at me and said, "I told you." The pair would go on to win 3 titles together. And McHale would continue to tell stories that live on in Celtics folklore forevermore. A highlight being a throwback from Bird's brutal trash talk at a game in Phoenix.
We have a play, out of bounds play, I'm taking it out, and Larry says, "I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3, and I'm like, "We're down 2. I'm like, "No, don't do that." I'm like, "Let's shoot a 3, please. Go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game." And Larry says, "No, I'm just going to bust a 3 on him." I'm like, "Oh, my God."
Oh, my God.
So
He
tells
knew
the
he...
Phoenix bench, tells the coaches, "Yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this." And he gets the ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball at the slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, "Told you so."
Larry's mental game was such
Hey, that boy Larry.
he could just open up any team and tear them apart. He would use psychological warfare on a regular basis.
Oh, that's nasty.
Players
That's
speak of his
cold.
toughness not because of his size or physicality, but because of his mind. He would impose his will on the opposition and could force them off their game just as much as he could switch on his. A mastermind at trash talk tactics, Larry Bird will forever go down in history as one of the greatest trash talkers of all time. And in the 80s, that mattered. With players such as Bill Laimbeer, Hakeem Olajuwon, Magic Johnson, and
definitely
the
did.
eventual emergence of Michael Jordan, Bird did what was necessary in order to gain that mental edge that took him over the top.
Oh, my God.
James Worthy, the 1988 Finals MVP, simply stated that Larry was trash-talking all the time, but the problem was he could back it up.
Yeah, he could back it up. When you're arrogant and you can back it up, you're not arrogant, you're just good. And Larry was good.
Even Worthy's former teammate Magic Johnson spoke on the fact that he had a real dislike for Larry Bird as far back as their college playing days for the very reason that Larry would constantly get the better of him. Johnson claimed in a recent interview during a press build-up for the Broadway play about the pair that after he beat Larry in the NCAA championship game in 1979, the most-watched college basketball game ever, by the time he got to the Lakers, they were 0-8 to the Celtics.
You had to hate the Celtics to beat them because when I got here, we were 0-4, I think 8, and then the first time against the Celtics and then in championship series, and then we lost that in '84. That made us 0-9, I believe.
And later is quoted as saying, "When I played, Larry Bird was the only one I feared." Not bad when hearing it from a 5-time champion and one of the true
Yeah,
great
that's
basketball
kinda
players
crazy
of
to
all
hear.
time. At the 2019 NBA Awards, Johnson received the NBA Lifetime Achievement Award, but it was shared with guess who? Larry Bird. Bird was simply the king of talking the talk, then actually going out and walking the walk.
Listen, man.
Look at that boy, Larry.
For you, because you've never talked this long.
Dominique Wilkins recounts one of the most famous games where Larry Bird promised Kevin McHale he was going to break McHale's record against Atlanta. Wilkins said,
He got so hot in that game that you talk about that patented step back. He was doing that step back, and he switched it to his left hand 3 separate times in that game. He hit a 3. He was scoring anywhere on the floor that he wanted.
Is this when the bench was giving each other 5?
The bench was giving each other 5.
Yeah. So did you get in a fight with them after the game? Forget Larry. Did you beat anybody on the bench? Because you giving 5, he's scoring on me.
Every one of those guys got fined $3,000.
Everybody
Larry's legend lives on
reacted.
because of the greats that want to tell them. The reason there's a list of top 10 players who consistently call Bird their toughest opponent or one of their all-time greats is because Larry himself is in that list. Larry is a top 10 baller of all time. His style doesn't matter when his skill sinks the opposition. Because above all, the opposition will remember. They'll remember the steals, the shots, the clutch plays, and the trash talk.
Yeah,
They'll
that's what I'm
remember the
saying.
Bird
They're
from
gonna
the
remember
early
all
80s,
that.
not from the early 90s. The Larry who stepped out on the court in his warm-up jacket and made Michael Jordan recoil in envy. MJ announced,
He ain't took off his top yet. I didn't see when he took off his top.
Oh my
it was all
God.
business. He may as well have taken a mop and bucket to the floor because he was about to clean up. He was an impetuous and never relenting opponent that took the life from anyone who stepped onto his battlefield. The consensus is a resounding stamp of legendary status for the man who will forever go down in the history books as one of the greatest ever players, and arguably the greatest ever Celtic to grace the court. What did you think of Larry Bird?
He definitely the best Celtic ever. Definitely the best Celtic ever. Shout out to everybody who ever even watched Larry Bird in person, bro. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that video though, man. But yeah, like I said, shout out to anybody who ever seen Larry Bird play in person, bro. Cause I know that was probably like, oh my God, ain't no way he's seeing the floor like that. Like, Larry Bird was definitely a monster. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. I'm out this guy.